Okay, it's time to get out of the scolding heat. If you want a good vacation this summer, head out to Colorado. I'm going to tell you 5 cool things you could do in Colorado this summer that don't cost much money. And if you stick around to the end, I'll tell you a bonus cool thing you could do in Colorado. So stand by. Okay, let me just say these are in no particular order from best to worst. Let's start out with number 5, the Great Sand Dunes. So if you head down south from Denver on 25, you could head into the San Luis Valley, and down there you'll find Great Sand Dunes National Park. The spring is a great time to go. They have a stream there that only runs in the spring. It's really cool. It runs across the sand, crystal clear water, but anytime in the summer or winter for that matter is a good time to go to the sand dunes. You have to get your parks pass to get in there, but once you get in there, 55 square miles of sand dunes, Aeolian sand dunes, which means the sand was deposited by the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, which are a lot of them are in the 13 to 14,000 range above tree line, set back right behind the sand dunes. One cool activity you could do at the sand dunes, if you're kids or you're young at heart, is you could snowboard down the sand dunes. You could take a skateboard deck and ride down the sand dunes. The sand dunes are really cool. I took my mother there before she died. I mean, long before she died. She died a few years ago. I took her there about 20 years ago. She was out here for a trip. I took her snowmobiling to the sand dunes, to all the spots I thought were cool, but that was a winter trip. Okay, so number 5 on the list, going backwards from 5 to 1, is the Great Sand Dunes National Park in the San Luis Valley of Colorado. Okay, number 4, awesome cool thing to do in Colorado is to go rafting in the summer. Colorado is known for its mountains and skiing, but summers in Colorado are great too. We have a saying here in Colorado, people move out here for the winters and they stay for the summers. We have a lot of sayings like that in Colorado, but that's just one of them. Take a whitewater raft trip. If it's your first trip, you could go somewhere like the Upper Colorado, which is in the background right now. You might be able to hear it, the Upper Colorado River. There's class 1, 2, and 3 for beginners. You could sign up with raft companies like Arkansas Valley Adventures, the Adventure Company. There's a whole bunch of them. You could go to any tourism info site and find all the raft companies. They're all about the same. I'm not endorsing any or not endorsing any, but some good rivers to go rafting on: the Animas, the Arkansas, Clear Creek, which is right outside of Denver. If you're coming to Denver and you want a quick raft trip, you could do a day trip on Clear Creek. The Taylor River by the Gunnison River. There's so many rivers to run here in the summer. For about $100 a person, you could run good, maybe 150 good class 3, class 4 whitewater. Get a professional guide, you'll be safe. They run great safety. Great thing to do on these hot summer days. So number 4 is go whitewater rafting. Number 3 is, while you're whitewater rafting, say on the Arkansas River, you could visit the Arkansas Valley, which is one of my favorite valleys in Colorado. Been there many times, lived there a few summers as a raft guide. It's built up a lot, but it's still great camping, great hotels. I mean, any level of accommodations you want, cabins. I recommend getting a cabin at Cottonwood Hot Springs, about 20 miles out of town, because then you got a cabin and it's at the hot springs. Cottonwood Hot Springs are the more private hot springs. So Buena Vista and Salida, the valley there, it's known for its rafting, of course, but there's dude ranches, horseback riding, great restaurants, breweries. I mean, they have everything now. Surf competitions, music festivals. You got to check out the Arkansas Valley, Buena Vista, Salida. The locals call it Buena Vista, even though it's pronounced Buena Vista by Hispanic-speaking people. There's also Mount Princeton Hot Springs in the Arkansas Valley, which is more kid-oriented, has pools, slides, diving boards, big pools. They used to have private pools around or along the creek. I'm not sure if they do anymore. But you could check it out. Cottonwood's my favorite, but Mount Princeton is cool too. But the hot springs is definitely a cool thing to do on a cool summer night. Remember, in Colorado here, it's always cool in the summer at night, 50 degrees or so. Number 2 on the list of really cool stuff to do in Colorado in the summer of 2024 is to visit Crested Butte. Crested Butte, to me, is like the most outdoorsy town. So if you're into outdoor stuff in Colorado, it's known for its skiing. It's epic skiing in the winter, but in the summer it is awesome as well. There's whitewater rafting there too on the Taylor River and the Gunnison River. And I think they do some on the East River, which flows in, meets the Taylor and becomes the Gunnison. But right outside of Crested Butte, there's Tin Cup Pass and Taylor Reservoir, which has some summer activities on the reservoir. Not only that, the two valleys going north out of Crested Butte are the East Valley, which has great camping and hiking up there, and then the Obie Joyful Recreation Area Valley, which is some of the best camping, wildflower gazing places in the state. If you're into wildflowers, mountain biking, the outdoors, and camping, you got to check out Crested Butte and the Obie Joyful Recreation Area over there. Also, if you head up that way, up the east, you could go up Schofield Pass. There's a glacial lake called Emerald Lake. I first went there in college. It's an epic place. You could really drive up almost to the lake on a short hike, and it's crystal clear, emerald colored with snow, a glacial running into the lake. I haven't been there in years. I'm not sure if it's still like that, but then you could go over Schofield Pass. If you're into really burly four-wheel drive, there's waterfalls up there. That's also out of Crested Butte. So Crested Butte, the outdoor place to be when you come to Colorado this summer. Number one thing to do when you visit Colorado in the summer of 2024 is go to Red Rocks Amphitheater in Morrison and see a show. Doesn't matter what show it is, it's the most unique place I've ever been in my whole entire life, and I've seen a lot of music all over the place. I mean, I saw the Rockettes at Radio City Music Hall when I was a kid. I've been to all the big venues in New York because I grew up there, but then outdoor venues all over the country, in some cases the world. Red Rocks Amphitheater is number one on the list. I'm not sure the lineup there this summer. Tickets are usually expensive, but if you could get a show, someone you like, an artist you like at Red Rocks, I would say that's a great thing to do for the summer here. It's an experience of a lifetime. To me, that's the number one thing, mostly because it's easy. Anybody could do it. Some of the other things I mentioned, you know, rafting, you could be almost any age, but some people aren't into that adrenaline stuff. You know, hot springs, people don't like that, but anybody could go to an amphitheater and watch music, and Red Rocks is the number one amphitheater, I think, in the world. In my opinion, it is. Okay, you stuck around? So I'm going to give you one bonus thing to do in Colorado. It's actually two things this summer in 2024. You pretty much need to have a rental car to do this, or if you drove here, great. Drive down to Durango, take Red Mountain Pass during the day. One of the most exciting passes there is. Spend the night in Durango camping or a hotel. It could be expensive, but camping you can find cheap or free. And then the next day, take the Durango to Silverton Railroad. It's a old school railroad, and if you're a movie buff like me, it's where Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid filmed some of their most famous scenes from the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, when they're jumping off the train into the giant ravine. That's the Silverton to Durango or Durango to Silverton line. Okay, so that's your bonus number 6, Durango to Silverton line. There's lots of places I know in Colorado and other places you could travel. If you want any advice, go ahead and sign up for my Buy Me a Coffee. I'll link that right here. I have membership coming soon to my site. Sign up for that when you see it on your thread. Okay guys, I hope you liked the video. See you next time. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, comment, tell me if you want more videos on Colorado or the Western United States, traveling places to go. Get on my Buy Me a Coffee if you want to talk to me personally on the phone, on WhatsApp, about places to travel, places I've been, tips, all that stuff. Or you could just write something in the comments and I'll usually try and get back to you if it's not a negative comment. Thanks, see you soon. Peace.